Well, for no apparent reason, we lost power this morning. Just for a hot minute. Just enough that I gotta go back around and reset everything. But I had ordered some patio chair covers from Amazon, and one of them didn't fit. They sent me the wrong size. So Jim and I are going to go to Kohl's to return it because they have an Amazon return center there. And then I'm going to go to Lowe's and pick up a few more flowers because I just need a couple more. Jim doesn't know that yet, though, but he'll find out soon enough. So there he is with his water, his newly found water that he's drinking now instead of pop when he's traveling. He always made fun of me when I brought my water, but now Jim's bringing his water. Right, Jim?
Oh, yeah.
So, any big major plans for you today?
No.
You have any jokes?
No.
What about your one you told me yesterday?
About the pie?
Yeah. Was it the pie?
Yeah, the pie.
Yeah, I guess.
Where it cost $3 for a slice of pie in the Bahamas and $5 for a slice of pie in Jamaica. So now you know the pie rates of the Caribbean.
He's full of them. Okay, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Well, she must have a nest nearby because she comes here every day about this time to eat the grubs in our lawn. Got to put some more food in there because look, it's running out. Well, take two, because I did a whole video outside, talked for about 15 minutes. I came in and started editing it, and it was a lot breezier than I thought. You could hardly hear me. I know, sometimes that's probably a good thing, but it's very hot, it's very muggy, but there's a breeze that's just crazy. But it's a hot breeze, it's not a cooling off kind of a breeze. But anyway, we do have, first of all, we do have birthdays. But second of all, I want to have a big heartfelt apology to Ann Carey, because Ann's birthday was yesterday, and she's not in my calendar. I don't understand. I looked at last year's and she wasn't in it last year either, so I don't know. Maybe, Ann, you're a new subscriber, but that's no excuse. That's just no excuse. I should have put your name in my calendar. I so apologize. But I always tell you guys, if your birthday's coming up, or you don't think I remember, let me know in the comments below when your birthday is, or your anniversary. Make sure you tell me your significant other, though, too. And I will make sure that you're in my calendar. At the first of the month, every month, I always make sure that everything from last year carried over. And Ann, you weren't in there last year. I don't know what the deal is, the dealio. But that's no excuse. You still should have got a song. Happy birthday to you, a day late. Happy birthday to you, a day late. Happy birthday, dear Ann. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. And so I am apologizing. But you know what? Hopefully somebody sang to you yesterday, and this is just the cherry on the sundae, the bonus song. Although it's always nice to hear it on your actual birthday. I was surprised at how many people don't have anybody sing to them on their birthday. I would be devastated if my family didn't sing to me on my birthday, because I am a child at heart. But it's also Beth over at Mermaid M7, I think that's the name of her channel, but it's Beth's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Beth, happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. And I hope you have a great birthday. It's also Jen over at JJ Singer. It's Jen's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Jen, happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. All right, two birthdays and a belated birthday, but that's pretty cool. So remember, let me know, and even if you think I know, sometimes I don't know. I really don't, but sometimes I don't. I know that's hard to believe, isn't it? It's really hard to, no, it's not very hard to believe at all. And Kim Bedgood, she fell and broke her thumb. Kim, I'm very fortunate I didn't break any bones when I fell. Just miraculous that I didn't, though I had my little blue mustache going on for over a week. I'm having a problem with one of my teeth, the gums. So I have a dentist appointment on Thursday just to check it out, just to make sure I didn't damage my gum or anything when I fell. Maybe I know I bit my lip. But Kim, I know, we're getting to that age where we just always fall. I'm now getting to the point that I'm back comfortable walking, and I'm very conscious of my steps. I'm very conscious of, I always was before. And when I fell, I was overly cautious for like a week or so, overly cautious. Now I'm just back to being cautious again, which is better for me because it's not like you know how I stress about certain things. It's just my nature. But I'm very comfortable with my walking again. And I wore my new shoes today. Oh my gosh, it was like walking in a cloud. They were so comfortable. Usually you got to break in a pair. Usually I have to break in a pair of shoes because I have to get them a size too small. And then I have to really like get the blisters and all of that just to work them in. And then you kind of stretch it out to fit your foot, I guess. But it was so nice actually getting the, and who knows? It's like your weight. Nobody knows how much you weigh until you tell them how much you weigh. And nobody knows what size clothes you wear unless you tell them. Although, if you wear a size too small, people will talk and say, they do make a bigger size, don't they? Because, I don't know, I like to be comfortable. And like I said, I'm very fortunate that my summer clothes from last year still fit me. I told you a couple months ago I was looking for summer shorts and stuff like that. I had full intention of going down a size, but my shorts from last year, fortunately or unfortunately, any way you want to look at it, they still fit, so I don't need to go buy more shoes. So, anyway, we'll see how that goes. I had ordered from Amazon, which was amazing. I'm just shocked. I had ordered a chair cover for my patio furniture outside. I had ordered a couch cover and just one patio chair cover because I already had one patio chair cover that worked. And I ordered it at 1:30 on Sunday morning, and it was delivered at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. It was like a little over 12 hours. I couldn't believe that. So, but it didn't. The couch one fit perfectly, so much better than the other one that I had. It just fits like it was made for it, made to measure. But anyway, perfect fit. Fiddler on the Roof. That's quotes from Fiddler on the Roof. When Muttle, I had how did he say his name? Muttle. When he was a tailor, and he got a machine, and he was trying to talk Tevya into letting him marry his daughter, and he was like using all of these terms. Fits like a glove, made to measure, all of that good stuff. That's one of I remember seeing that at the show, and it was at this really fancy theater, which really wasn't that fancy, but it was like they considered it a fancy theater. And what was the name of the theater now? I can't even remember the name of the theater. But anyway, I went and saw that, and I love that movie. I have it on DVD, and I watch it every time it's on TV. I just love it. My favorite part of the whole movie is the bottle dance. Oh, I love the bottle dance. That's my favorite part. But anyway, so the chair cover, in a nutshell, the chair cover didn't fit. So I had to bring it back. In Kohl's, you can bring your Amazon returns back. So Jim just waited in the truck while I went in. And I did wear my mask, although at Kohl's they have a sign that says you don't have to wear your mask. I trust the science. I really do trust the science. But, I never got the flu. I never got a cold. There's a lot of germs I didn't catch. So, for a while, at least. If I'm outside in an outside setting, I don't wear a mask. If I'm, like, away from people and it's outside. But if I'm in a store and it's crowded, I still feel a little more comfortable wearing a mask. But, baby steps. It'll get me there. But anyways, I was walking back to the Amazon department. There was a Tigers baseball hat with the pink bill and the pink lettering for the emblem for the Tigers. And Sophia loves. I meant to get a video of her. I should have done that when I went. I never even thought of that. Anyway, I'm going to call Christy and see if she can give me a picture. No, Christy's probably at work. Well, if Christy's not at work, I'll give you a picture of Sophia in her Tiger baseball hat, which she absolutely loved because her daddy, that's his favorite team. So we went over there and we dropped the hat off for her because she was on her lunch break. Christy was working, so we didn't visit with Christy because she was in the back room working. And then we went to Lowe's because I wanted to get some flowers. When I was putting some stuff away, I found the pots. On Mother's Day in 2015, Sebastian, Oliver, and Sophia decorated clay pots for me for my plants. And I had put them away in an odd place. And I I completely forgot about them. And then when I was looking for something and I opened up the storage box and I found them and I thought I gotta get some more flowers. So Jim and I stopped and got some flowers. And then we came home and then I had to plant the flowers. So I did that, and then I watched Kim and David, Mr. Smooth, on their tag video. Jimmy came up with some really thought-provoking questions this week. Who knew he was so deep? Who knew? But anyway, and then somebody was, I wish I could think who it was. I'll put their name right here. Asked me if that was a deer head in my bedroom. No, that's a caribou head. And then we also have moose antlers in there too. At one point we had a bear that Jim was going to mount, because Jim got a bear with a bow and arrow, so he wanted to mount the bear. And he wanted to put, well, we never had room in our other house, so that worked out well. Then when we came here, we have like our living room is like a great room, and it's like really big, and our dining room is really big, like high ceilings. And so Jim wanted to hang the caribou above the fireplace. And I put a kibosh on that. I said, no, I am not going to sit in this living room and look at that thing looking at me all the time. And so then he said, well, then we'll put it on the other wall. And I go, that's my clock wall. We're not taking my clocks down. And how are we going to know what time it is? Does anybody really know what time it is? Anyway, so he says, well, I'm hanging it somewhere. So I thought, let's just hang it in the bedroom. Because my theory on that is, the only time I go in the bedroom really, is to go to sleep at night. And it's dark in there and I don't see it. So when he was going to hang it, and he was like, I don't know if you saw that Indian picture, Jim's grandfather had given him some arrowheads when he was growing up, and he wanted to put them in a picture, and we found that picture of the Native American. But back when we get it, it was an Indian. But I mean, the Native American is the correct term. So he wanted to put around the frame, he put the arrowheads in it. And so he gave that to me for our 25th anniversary. And so he was taking the picture down, which is over our bed. And I go, what are you doing? And he says, oh, I'm going to hang the caribou over the bed. And I go, oh, hell no. Having that thing looking up at me and staring at me. There's no way. So he says, no, it'll be fine. And I go, yeah. And during the night when it comes down, I'll be the one getting impaled by the antlers. So I said, no. I said, put it above my dresser. Because where my dresser is, the ceiling is higher. So he put it up there. And then when he got the moose, the head was messed up, so he only had the horns, or the antlers, or whatever you call them. And so then he says, well, where am I going to hang this? That above the bed? And I go, no, we can hang that on the way into the closet. And we're not going to have any more animals hanging. But at our other house, he had a bear. He had got a bear, and he had put it in the freezer. Because when he had the money, he was going to bring it to a taxidermist and have it stuffed. The bear head. And we lost power, and we didn't realize that when we lost power, we had a power surge when it came back on, and it blew out the freezer, and we never knew that the freezer wasn't working. And so we kept smelling something, and because I didn't want to, I know I'm silly, I'm just so silly, I know. I didn't want to put any of my meat in that freezer because that bear was in there. I'm thinking, like I was going to contaminate it. I'm thinking, I know it wouldn't have. In my mind, I know it wouldn't have. But I didn't want to have to open up the freezer to get like a pound of hamburger to see that bear head looking at me. I don't know. So I've rearranged the freezer upstairs to fit all my meat, and then Jim just put his venison and his caribou and all that kind of meat down in the basement. But anyway, we kept smelling something. I kept thinking, what's that smell? And so finally he went down there to get the bear head, and he opened up the freezer, and it was like, I don't know how, like on Criminal Minds, when they can walk into a room and see a dead body, and it's like been there for a while, and they talk. I mean, I know it's just acting, but people do this in real life. How they can walk in that room and not gag me with a spoon with the smell? Because oh my gosh, that smell was horrid. And I burned candles and incense for days on end to get rid of that smell. And the boys had to carry the freezer up, and it had got all into the freezer, and it was all the blood, and it was awful. And as they're climbing up the stairs, bringing the freezer, the blood was dripping on the steps. It was horrid. It was just horrible. And the boys told us that that was the second time they had to move the freezer from the basement. The first time it was just, the freezer just died, but it was like heavy. So they told us that if we ever got a freezer again, that we were never moving another freezer out of the basement. So when we talked about last March when we were getting a freezer, they go, oh, no. And I go, no, we're going to put it in the garage. And they go, oh, that'll work. So we have it in the garage. But anyway, so today I wanted to talk about our weight loss. Just real quick, let's kind of babbled on for 13 minutes. I didn't even talk about this outside. I was talking about our weight loss. I have to remind myself, and after I was watching Kim over a girl on her phone, I always say Kim, and then I just assume that it's a girl on her phone. I should always remember. Because when I say Joan, I say Joan's pointed plate, But anyway, Kim, over a girl on her phone, was talking yesterday about, should we just give up? Should we just quit? And I think a lot of us, at least I am, are going through that right now. I know I'm never going to quit. I know that because this is a lifelong battle. I'm never going to reach that finish line. I mean, I'm going to reach the finish line, but then it's going to be another line that I'm going to have to cross. It's a continuing thing till the day I die. I'm going to have to be continually fighting to keep my weight off. And I know that. So it's taken me 50 years to figure that out, but I figured it out. And the conclusion I've come to, if it was easy, everybody would be thin. There wouldn't be a fat person or overweight person out there. Everybody would be thin. They'd be perfect bodies, perfect shapes, perfect health. That's just not happening because it's so darn hard. And people quit. I know I keep bringing it up, and I told you I wasn't going to do it anymore, but I was so close to my one little mini goal, not a mini goal because it's been like a 40-year goal, is to get to the 100 pounds. And I was almost at 96 pounds. I only had a little over 4 pounds to go. And I just kind of got discouraged. And slowly it started coming back on, and I noticed a repeat pattern of my life, and I think I've nipped it. I really think I've really nipped it. And so my thoughts for now are just pretend. Just pretend you're back at the 96 pounds and you only have 4 pounds to go. Just pretend that this is easy. I think that if I stop just dwelling, Judy Reve, I know, she always tells me I'm dwelling, which I am. That's just my nature. I just think that I just need to stop, just pretend. Just pretend that it's going to be easy. Pretend that it's going to be easier each day. I know it's not going to be, but, what's it hurt? When I grew up, I played so many pretend games. And my kids always said, pretend that this is, Jimmy, when he was growing up, Danny, bless his heart, would do whatever he would say. Danny idolized Jimmy. But Jimmy would say, you say this and I'll say that. Then you go here and I'll go there. Then you do that and I'll do this. And then we'll go here and we'll go there. And Danny would go, yeah, okay. So it was just, I wish that my weight was like, you do this and you'll lose weight. You do that and you'll lose weight. And I know if I do that, I will lose weight. And I know if I do that, I will lose weight. But for now, I just have to pretend that I'm doing really well, although I'm not. I'm doing better than I have been in the last month or two. But I'm not doing as well as I should be doing or as I could be doing. But for now, I'm fine with what I'm doing, I guess. My weight loss is important to me, but there's other things in my life that are way more important. So I'm just going to go from there and see. The doctor called me today with my blood results, and she said, you're in perfect health, which was good news. She said all my blood work came back perfect. And so I said, that's good news. Didn't like that she called me at 7:20 in the morning, but that's what she does. She calls you before 8 o'clock, which I knew that was coming. So, but you know me, roll back over, go back to sleep. Although it's a little bit more difficult now because it's light and kind of stay awake. And then we lost our power. Well, I was playing games on my phone about 9 o'clock, and we lost the internet, we lost the electricity. Well, obviously we lost the electricity, so we lost the internet. And so I was like, get your butt up out of bed and let's get moving. And then my thing for this week is just to stay busy. So I had for breakfast, I had 2 slices of Ezekiel toast with 1 pouch of the holy guacamole, and I had a cucumber, and I had a tomato, and I had some berries, and I had 2 hard-boiled eggs. And I haven't decided what I'm going to have for dinner, but it's going to be healthy, I know that. I hadn't eaten breakfast when we were out shopping this morning, and we were passing by McDonald's, and I love the smell of McDonald's. Well, I love McDonald's. And I thought, I haven't had a quarter pounder and cheese, and I couldn't tell you when. But I didn't even mention it to Jim because Jim would have pulled over and stopped there. And I thought, no, just go home and eat a healthy food for your breakfast, which is what I did. But But we just need to remind ourselves that all things are possible if we just believe. And you know what? I do believe that I am going to get there. I don't know when I'm going to get there, but I've been on 100,000, well, maybe not 100,000, but you know what I mean. I've been on a lot of diets in my life. And I have to tell you that I never really believed that I would reach a 100-pound loss. I never really believed it. I really never did. I believe it now. I really do believe it, and I really do believe I'm going to keep the weight off. In the past, I've reached the point right now where I would have just given up and just thought, forget it. Forget about it. I'm just going to do what I want to do and just enjoy my life. But I really enjoyed my life so much more when I was feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling strong, and proud of myself. And I have to tell you that I really haven't been that proud of myself the last couple months. I'm proud of the fact that I've kept my weight off, but I'm not really proud of the effort I've been putting into it. So my goal for now is to just pretend. I'm really good at pretending. So I'm going to just pretend that I'm 100% on plan and go from there. So anyway, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit the like button, share it if you think somebody might like to see it. Remind me when your birthday is or your anniversary and who your significant other is. I have no problem with that. So stay safe. Talk to you guys tomorrow.